Aloha YouTube. Today is actually the day that my brother is going to Spain to play football, which is pretty prolific. And basically going to give him a little interview before he left. This is my brother Kevin right here.
Hey, what's going on, YouTube? How everybody doing, man? What's going on?
So there's a lot of obviously controversy about somebody going overseas to play football. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's controversy in everything you do. Honestly, this is a big opportunity for me to chase my dreams. And coming from where I came from, not too many people get a chance to not only leave, but, move abroad and get a chance to go after their goals. Because, you only have one life. You don't get that many opportunities. So I'm just making the most of my opportunities.
I hear that. How long have you been playing football?
Man, I've been playing football since I was 8. Organized, but I've been playing actual outdoor ball since I was maybe 3. And I used to play with my older brothers, and my older brother's like 9 years older than me, so I always played against older kids. And looking back, I think that actually helped me out because I was always playing better competition.
Exactly. So what would you say is one of the biggest challenges for you as one of the defensive backs on a football team?
The biggest challenge to me is making sure everybody in the secondary is on the same page, because football is one of those sports where everybody has to be on the same page, because if one person is doing something different, it messes up the entire defense. And that's why me being the safety, I'm on the back end, I'm the last line of defense, but I'm also able to see the different formations and the different alignments. So I kind of have an idea of what the offense is trying to do before each snap.
Definitely, yeah. And obviously seeing the whole field is like kind of one of the defensive positions, key focus, kind of like a quarterback on offense. So what would you say is your ultimate goal in terms of football? Where would you want to get to?
Honestly, this time next year, I'll be in the NFL. For me to say it like that, it may sound a little bit cocky, but I almost feel like with anything in life, you got to speak it into existence.
I hear that.
And I know how hard I work. I know what I need to do to get there. Honestly, it's just trying to make plays and make it happen. But like I said, if it's in God's will, it'll happen. If it's not, I was able to chase my dream, and I'm thankful that I even had the opportunity to get here. Because a lot of people, like I said, don't even have the opportunity that I have now.
Mm-hmm. That's a really humble response to that. What would happen hypothetically if you did make it into the NFL?
If I didn't make it to the NFL, I plan on getting into personal training, and I also plan on getting into mentorship for younger black athletes, just so you my little brother, so you know the mistakes that I made growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that they wouldn't make those same mistakes, and I can kind of give them insight and say, hey, I lived this. This is what you shouldn't do. Let me show you the right way. So that way, make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, give a little insight to the kids. And what would you do if you did make it into the NFL?
And if I make it to the NFL, I plan on playing for maybe 3 or 4 years, just enough to make enough money. Because honestly, with the amount of money that those guys make, that can last you the rest of your life if you spend it wisely and if you invest correctly. So I would use that, and I would also use it as a platform, like I said, to get into mentorship and just to show people, that with hard work and faith in God, anything can happen. Because as 3 years ago, I was out of football.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't on any teams. Teams weren't calling me. I was working at Staples. Fast forward, 3 years now, I'm on a professional contract overseas. So that just goes to show you that, God works. It just may not happen when you want it to, but it'll happen when you need it to.
And there was you speak pretty eloquently, and a lot of people may have that stereotype about athletes in general that they're not the brightest of people. You know what I mean? You lift weights, you doing stuff like that. So, could you elaborate on how and why you're sort of a profound speaker in the football field?
Well, with me, as you I went to Delaware State for a couple years, and my major was broadcast journalism, so I planned on getting into radio, even if I wasn't playing football. But I don't like to live up to stereotypes, and the typical stereotype is the young black athlete is undereducated, can't speak, gets done, he gets into trouble. I'm just here to shake those stereotypes and just to say, hey, look, I can talk eloquently, and at the same time, I grew up in Baltimore City, so, I still have that with me. But, you just got to shake stereotypes because people will judge you before they have a conversation. And then when you talk to them and you show them that you can speak and you show them a different side, they're like, hey, you know what? This guy isn't like what we thought he was.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always good to be multiverse. What about for the ladies out there listening? What's your stance on that?
For the ladies, you're gonna put me on the spot, bro.
Hey.
No. For the ladies, I am single, but I honestly say I'm not looking. I'm honestly focused on chasing my dream. That's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, in the perfect world, you would like to have somebody to share with. But like I said, I feel like that'll come when it's supposed to. So when that opportunity comes, I definitely will take advantage. I'm not one of those guys that want to talk to 15 different women. Honestly, I don't have the time. And at the end of the day, that game gets old pretty fast. Exactly.
You sound like a man with a mission. So what keeps you so grounded and focused on acquiring your task?
Well, it's just motivation from my friends that wasn't able to make it. As you know, I lost a couple friends growing up. I just lost my grandfather this summer, and the one thing that he always used to say was, "That should be you on the TV." He used to always say it, and I kind of used to laugh it off. But at one point in time, I said, you know what? Maybe that should be me. And when he died, I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to chase my dream, and I'm going to work hard toward it. And also, a good friend of mine, Troy, he sent me a long text, and he said, hey, you can either do something else or you can start taking football serious, because right now, you don't look like you're taking it too serious. And I screenshotted that text message, and I told myself I was going to keep it as motivation. So for those times when I don't feel like working out, or those times when I'm a little sore or I'm a little tired, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? This guy right here, he believed in me. My grandfather believed in me. My family believed in me. So I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for them too, and I can't let them down. So that just keeps me motivated, and it keeps me incredibly humble.
That sounds like a plan. What about before a game? Like, what gets you motivated and hyped up?
Man, I'm big on Future, big on Young Thug. I like, and I also
take note of
bump
that.
A lot of old school too. I bump a lot of Pac, NWA, just to get you in that mindset. But the thing is, with a game, you don't want to get too hyped before the game. So usually with me, my pregame routine, I have a nice little snack, get my stretching in, and then maybe like a half an hour to an hour before the game, I get my music going, and then I get myself in the zone where nothing else matters at that point but the football game, and everything else is outside noise. I don't hear it. And then once the game's over, I go back to being a regular black man. But prior to that, I try to lock in with the music, and the music gets me to that place where I need to be so I can get ready to play.
Yeah. And then what would you say for all the young black youth that's trying to get into the football or maybe another sport? What advice would you give to them?
My advice would be, and I'm not going to give you cliche answers because, the typical person says, hey, you good. I'm going to be real. Don't listen to people. Don't listen to people, because people will tell you you can't do something because they either failed at it or they just don't think you can do it. But believe in yourself and invest in yourself. Take care of your body. Those are things that you have to do as a professional athlete, not just for me saying it because now I'm a pro, but prior to that, you need to take care of your body, because your body is ultimately, your money maker. That's what's going to make you your money. So, and the biggest thing too is to work every day. And what I mean by work every day is every day you may not be in the gym. But just because you're not in the gym doesn't mean you can't work toward perfecting your craft. Like me personally right now, you're calling me and I'm on the way to New York. Once I get off the phone with you, I'm going to be looking into my playbook. I'm going to be watching film. You know, it's always ways to better yourself, but never get complacent. Because when you're not working, nobody stays the same. While you're not working, your competition is getting better. So therefore, the day you take off is the day you're getting worse. And that motivates me and that scares me. It makes me say, hey, you don't have time to take a day off. Even when I make it to the NFL, you still don't have time to take a day off because the ultimate goal is not just to make it to the NFL, it's to be successful in the NFL and it's to be remembered in the NFL. And in order to do that, you have to work extremely hard. You got to be willing to work even when you don't want to.
Demon. Whew, like that says something. Science says that 80% of being, you know, in your element, like being fit, being strong, is from diet, and 20% is from exercise. So, what's your daily diet in terms of food that you eat?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Today I eat very healthy. I'll be real with you. I wish my man Troy to tell you I just had a bunch of McDonald's. But typically on a regular day, me personally, and you know this, I'll come out and say this. I've had problems with weight in my career. I've had problems maintaining a good weight. My weight fluctuates. You know this.
Yeah.
And now what I've learned is that, you know, I have to eat right. With me, like I said, I have to eat 3 to 4 meals a day, not a lot of calories, not a lot of fat. But I'm a bigger defensive back, so I still have to eat. I'm not one of those guys that can eat a seaweed salad with some nuts and say, hey, I'm full. It's not gonna work for me. But what I have learned is that bring in lean proteins, your chicken, your breasts, you got chicken breast, you got your greens. Those sort of things, and I drink a lot of fruit smoothies with protein in them.
Smart.
And that sort of sustains me, and that keeps the weight off. Right now, I'm actually at 218, and that's probably the lowest I've been maybe in the last 3 to 4 years. So my diet is working for me, but at the same time, it's something that I have to stay up on. I can't get lazy and just eat cheesesteaks all day. I know you can, because I remember you in the room and eat Papa John's every day, all day. But with me,
don't put me out there.
it doesn't work. I actually have to maintain a diet, and it's not a real strict diet, but I'm very calorie conscious, I would say.
Yeah. Now the other 80%, which is like Vitaly told me, do you even lift, bro? So most gym buffs get out there maybe 3 times a week. What would you say is different between their gym routine and your gym routine?
My gym routine is all about muscle stamina. Me and a good friend of mine, you met Slade before. Slade actually started training me, I would say, at the beginning of 2012. And Slade focuses in on abs. And I remember when I used to work out with him at first, he used to kill me. I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? But after you work out with him enough, you start to see the results. You start to see something down. And me personally, I go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. I try to make it 5, maybe even 6 times. And with that, we don't work out for 2-3 hours. We're not in the gym all day. We're not trying to have a marathon in the gym. I go in the gym, honestly, 40 minutes to an hour, 15 at the max. And I get my workout in because we work really efficiently. A lot of supersets. You know, when I get in the gym, I'm one of the nicest guys you'll probably meet. And I do. I'm social. I can hold a conversation, but when I'm in the gym, there's really not too much conversation being held. You know, we very serious, and we get in the gym 5 days a week, get our 45-minute workout in. We do the abs, we do cardio, and you know, we do it. And the main thing is with that, you gotta have balance with your workouts, because I was another one of those guys that I used to do arms 4 times a week, and I may do legs 1 day a week. Well, that's well and good when you're trying to get a gym body, but when you want to be an athlete and you want to be complete, you gotta work on your legs. If not just as much, but more than you work on your upper body. So I started concentrating on my lower body and my core, and it's helped translate onto the field.
Ooh. And speaking of the field, who would you say is your? Because I mean, every athlete has that one like athlete that they kind of idolize. They kind of say, well, this guy, he showed you, what potential is like. Who would you say is the one athlete in terms of football gave you the inspiration to want to be in the NFL?
My inspiration right now, before growing up, any guy would say Deion Sanders.
Exactly.
Prime time. Everybody wanted to be prime time. We all didn't run 4.2s, but we all wanted to be prime time. But right now, it would be Cam Chancellor, the strong safety for Seattle Seahawks. I've been wearing 31 before he became, popular. But just watching the way he attacks the ball, he sets the edge. I try to bring that. I try to be the enforcer on my defense, and he's the enforcer on his defense. So, he's a guy that you watch him. He plays physical every game. You know what he's going to bring. And he's also a very, very cerebral player. A lot of people don't know that he lines up, Earl Thomas, he lines up the defense. And I like to have a mental edge over my opponent. He's a little bit bigger than me, though, because he's about 6'3", probably about 235. I go 6 feet, 218. But I try to, watch his tape. I try to say, well, why did he attack the line of scrimmage like that? Or how is he knocking out these 6'7" tight ends? And a lot of his game is leverage. It's getting lower than him and putting your shoulder pad down. And I'm trying to incorporate that into my game.
I see. Now, obviously, so we don't have the interview be 100 minutes long. On the closing remarks, what would you say to the fans and people before you leave?
Man, I would just say that I'm thankful for all the support I received, and I'm even more thankful for the doubt I received. That motivated me and it pushed me to get to this point. And I would say right now, I'm not content with just going overseas. This is a stepping stone for me to reach my ultimate goal of playing in the NFL. And, to the young kids out there, I'm going to say work hard as an athlete, but work even harder in the classroom, man. Don't be like me and have to go through the backdoor route of making it to the NFL. I honestly, I talk about this a lot, but your grades are paramount because at the end of the day, your career can end on one play. If you got that piece of paper, that diploma, nobody can take that away from you. So that would be my advice for the kids. Get that degree. You can play the football. Everybody won't make it to the NFL. It's just a harsh reality. But you can get that degree, and use that as a stepping stone to branch out on other things. So, that would be my advice, man. Academics first, football second, or whatever sports you desire to play. Bam. Get that degree and work hard in the classroom.
Knowledge is power.
Always.
So, that about wraps it up. His information is Twitter, Instagram, all that's going to be in the links in the description. All you guys have a great day and stay up for more updates.